Our state fair is a great state fair. We race with the best in the land. Wisconsin is our nation's dairy land, and the people friendly and grand. Our state fair is a people's fair. It's made up of people who care. We'll make you feel welcome from far and near. Oh, Wisconsin, glad you're here. We're happy that you're there.
I would like to get a view of one of your players back here, what it feels like being on the other side of the fence or the chain or whatever it is. Which one of you would...
Dr. Death.
Dr. Death, would you like to give us a little idea of how you feel back there, what it feels like having people come through?
Well, it's rather interesting because everyone reacts in their own way. You know, some people, like Tom was saying before, they come through there to get an emotional high. Some of them are very scared and, you know, they run out, and it's kind of just, you know, it's kind of nice watching people enjoy themselves, being on the other side of it. It's giving an entertainment that people enjoy. People can, to an extent, relate to things because they've either seen it in the media or it's something they'd like to do themselves. The overall response has been very good. People, you know, they come up to you and they shake their hand and they're happy to meet you and things like that. And I think the reception out here is overall very, very good.
Hey, Dr. Death, have you done this before?
Yes, this is my third year at Lavin Manor. I've worked 2 years at Multiple Sclerosis Haunted House, and so, you know, what kind of experience that's us.
So you've experienced it in several places.
Do you think the accident in New Jersey has affected your business?
I think it's made people much more aware of the dangers of going into an attraction like that, because it did get quite a bit of coverage in the media. Personally, I haven't had very much reaction, either a drop in attendance or talking to me personally, the patrons coming through asking if we have certain safety measures or take certain safety precautions. So I can't really say that the people that are actually here at the fair are relating or remembering that experience in New Jersey. But I know all the staff involved in the haunted house has that in mind when we prepare for the people coming through.
Okay, you have, 10-day stay here. Then the rest of the year you do nothing, right? You just relax? Okay, could you give us a little background? I know it's involved in haunted houses and different haunted houses, the research and the type of it is a business, and could you explain a little bit more about what you do in this business?
Well, it's a massive systems business. Not only do we have the technical aspect of it, but it's the PR aspect and the labor aspect of the whole thing, and then some of our attractions across the country share equipment, so there's a transportation aspect involved. So I'm pretty busy the entire year planning, anticipating, organizing, and then setting up and managing the operation from attraction site to attraction site.
When I first found out we were interviewing you, I went to the library and did a little work on to see what the history of the haunted house and carnivals and such, and at our local library there was not much. I'm sure you have a little, could you give us just a little historical information about the haunted house?
Well, going backwards, I think I talked earlier in the interview about the traveling aspect of the haunted house. Originally was affiliated with a carny atmosphere, the travel to rural areas so that people in rural America could have exposure to haunted houses. I think before that it was always an attraction from a standpoint of the bizarre, the unknown. Let's get someone in here to experience something weird or different or unusual. I think before that, if tracing it back farther, there's always been a need for man to structure his unknown feelings, and so you have a lot of roots interest in ritualism, religion, the witch doctor, all those things contributed to the whole concept of a haunted house as it is today. And I think another interesting part of the situation is that when we jump to the next level of haunted houses, it will be a high-tech haunted house where people coming through will relate with a lot of electronics, mechanic, gadgetry, visual effects. All those things will be incorporated in the next generation of haunted houses, similar to what we've been exposed to in movies and the great video and arcade of today.
Jennifer and I have just been down at Disney World and of course visited the haunted house there, and I would imagine that's what you're referring to, many of the things that go on.
The special effects that you can do with a ton of money like the Disney Corporation has, or some of the Six Flags people have some, rather elaborate setups. But that's what I'm referring to. But even that is rapidly becoming old hat in our high-tech society that we're living in. So I am excited about the possibility of a haunted house where things just go off the scale as far as visual impression and sound impression and motion impression, and the high-tech aspect is just fascinating to me.
Jennifer, did you like to tell your experience a little bit in the haunted house?
Well, I was wondering, in the haunted houses of the future, would you like to be able to be in on something and plan what's going to happen, stuff like using the computers and everything like that?
We are in that stage right now.
Okay.
It's not 10 years down the road. It's tomorrow, next year, that sort of thing. These things are coming into our lives, and this is a business, and we want to be able to relate what the people come to see to what they experience in their everyday life. And so we have to stay at pace with what's going on in the real world, and electronics is here, and that's what we have to, change accordingly to.
Well, Tom, how did you get into this business?
This is a question I've asked myself many, many times, many sleepless nights, asking myself why I got into this. I have a strong background in psychology and a strong background in dealing with people, and I think probably this fit into both areas of my expertise, and so that it was an attraction to me. There's a tremendous variety, and the job is, you never know what's going to happen. You always have to deal with the unknown, and I think that's the attraction for me.
Okay, we were talking earlier, and you said that people vary regionally, how they react to the haunted houses. Could you just explain a little bit about that, and about our Wisconsin people?
Well, the Wisconsin people are very family-orientated, and the reaction is, I would say, fairly conservative and happy. We don't get a lot of acting out in the house as far as distasteful things like that. Other areas of the country vary accordingly. Much more acting out behavior that we have to deal with, some not very tasteful. But the people here in Wisconsin, we always enjoy doing the Wisconsin Fair because the people are really great here.
Jennifer? Anything? Okay, we would like to thank you. Is there anything that you would like to tell the people out there?
Well, I encourage you to come down and have an emotional high with us and have a good time in the haunted house.
Thank you very, very much, and thank you for that. You have anything to say?
No, just see you at the fair.
Wedding? Anything?
Yes, definitely. Come to the Lab Manor.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, today is Health Day at the Wisconsin State Fair, and Jennifer and I have had an opportunity to go around the grounds and check out some services available in the West Dallas at the Wisconsin State Fair. One thing that Jennifer and I did today, we went and we checked into Love Prints, and this is a procedure where children can be fingerprinted for your protection, for their protection, and safety in the future. And we have a little information for you about the process of getting your child printed. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Jennifer Beege, and we're here in front of Love Prints interviewing Ann Kravinsky. Ann, can you tell us a little bit about the Child Prints program?
Love Prints is a fingerprint program for young people between the ages of
lost or missing?
Is this a big production? Do lots of people come here to get their children love printed?
Over at State Fair, we've done about 1,200 children, and altogether since Columbia started the program in November, we have done about 25,000 children in Metro Milwaukee.
Has this helped reduce the missing and lost children problem?
I think what it does, it makes people more aware of what's happening. The fingerprints can be used for identification. As far as we know, no one in Milwaukee has had to use it yet to identify their child.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to go through the process now of the lost print program.
Jennifer Biggie is now going to have her fingerprints taken, and we're going to go through the process. First, we have to visit this young lady here. Hi. Hi. Can you tell us what you have to do, what you do during this process?
Okay, I sign people up to have their fingerprints taken. First, I get the parent or guardian to fill out a consent form. Or the child can do it, but the parent or guardian has to sign. Then I sign them up to a sheet to have their prints taken on the sheet. I put their name on there, then they go on to the next station.
Are you doing this as a volunteer?
Yes.
And how did you get involved in this?
I signed up, I've had my children fingerprinted here, and I found out that they needed volunteers. So I signed up right there, and I came back.
Now will this just be during State Fair Week, or will you be doing this in the future?
If they need volunteers in the future, I'd be more than happy to sign up. As far as I know, I'm just working for State Fair.
Okay, thank you. Now, Jennifer will be filling out the form that I will have to co-sign as her guardian. And on the form it indicates the date, your child's name and address, age, date of birth, and a phone number. And then I have to co-sign it. So, we the parents of Jennifer Biggie understand the importance of fingerprints for identification purposes. Should my child become lost or missing. The form continues to say, we give Columbia Hospital and WTMJ Incorporated permission to take fingerprints of our child. We assume the sole responsibility for the safekeeping and use of these prints, and understand that neither Columbia Hospital nor WTMJ Incorporated will keep a copy. Okay, and then it's now my turn to sign to have Jennifer's fingerprints taken. I understand that love prints are also being not termed love prints, but fingerprints are being taken in schools. PTAs are very active in organizing events like this. Okay, now we will be going through the process of the actual fingerprinting. Okay, we are from Cable Television, West Dallas, and we are going through the process of having Jennifer fingerprint. Now, could you please tell me what your job is?
My job at the present is preparing the finger's child with just an alcohol wipe and taking off the oils of the skin and what have you, preparing them for the printing.
Okay, and I assume you are also a volunteer?
Yeah, an employee of Columbia Hospital. I work in the security department there.
Thank you very much. Okay, will you take care of Jennifer, please? Okay, we are now waiting in line to get us a black ink. Have you been involved in this for over the last several months?
Yeah, and well, I work at Columbia Hospital, and I did work at Summerfest, and I've also done a little bit of work at the hospital where we've had various schools coming in, kindergartens, what have you, where we've been doing printing at the hospital. That's why I've been helping out there too.
Okay, so during the school sessions, a school could call you, or if they wanted to have this done, and they would come down to the hospital, or are you also do you service schools?
Well, we certainly do take schools into the hospital on arrangements. I'll come in and make an appointment. We'll come in and do large groups at a time. If it's, we do go on the road as far as like when there's festivals and things like that at various areas, or school picnics, what have you. We'll go out and do those too. But there again, you would have to contact Columbia Hospital Office of Communications.
Okay, the Office of Communications.
parking down here at State Fair.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, Jennifer is now going to get her fingers covered with things. Okay, would you like to tell us a little bit about what you're doing now?
Oh, sure. What you do is start with the right hand, and the thumbs, when you do each individual finger, the thumbs you roll to the center of the body, and the fingers you roll each of them towards the outside of the body.
Is there a reason for this?
Mainly because it's the general way your fingers appear when they're down. It's hard to explain. When your hand is natural, your thumb points towards the center of your body, and the fingers towards the out part of your body.
Okay, so you want it to look like the natural hand, relaxed hand.
Right.
Okay. That's the way they're going to look. Your fingerprints?
You need to hold your four fingers together. And these are just a matter of getting the four fingers, the alignment of the four fingers. The ratio of the length of the fingers never changes. So once you have the ratio, that's what works.
Okay. You're interested in the ratio. You're doing both hands. Is there a reason why?
Just because you have a full set of fingerprints then, and
Okay, you want your accurate description of fingerprints. All right. Jennifer, is this easy to do?
Yeah.
Jennifer, you've done some fingerprinting before on your own, but for different reasons. Is this the same process?
Well, yeah, but it's the same thing.
Okay. Thank you. Now what happens with these?
these are given to the parents, and they are to keep them in a safe place. And there's other things that they should do, like keeping a yearly picture, updated picture, nickname, and if there's pictures of your child of where he or she plays, a playground or something like that, keep that there, names of friends, telephone numbers of friends, information like that.
Okay, if something undesirable should happen, and we would have to refer to the